What's up, everybody? Welcome to it, episode 3, iDyan on the run. Guys, the reception on the first episode, that's the one that has just gone live, has been absolutely super crazy. Thank you so much. Thank you for the comments. Thank you for everything that you guys do. It's really inspiring. Like, I get inspired. Our guest from the first one, Ulwando, said him watching himself talk about his running inspired him. And I was just like, it doesn't get any better than that. So welcome to it, episode 3. Let me leave everything else and let me just talk about introducing our guest today. So we've got a special guest today, and I'm going to let her introduce herself.
Hello, everybody. Hey, guys. My name is Tato Aramakafula, to be specific.
There we go.
And yeah, I'm excited. Don't know how I ended up here. That's a story for another day, but happy to be having a chat with you, Zuko.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Tato. And I know exactly how you ended up here, right? In me, as usual, doing my thing of always throwing things out into the universe, you know?
Yeah.
I always do that. And subtly and in my heart, I'm always just like, if I say I'm doing something, I wish people could be like, yo, what are you doing? What? Let's go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I always want people to join me, right? Mm-hmm. So for me, this podcast has been a really big thing because it's the thing that I'm doing by myself. And because I'm such a group activity person.
Understand.
So in me putting that out there, and then I get the DM from you, and then I'm like, yes. Then I forgot about it.
Then you took your sweet time.
Correct. And then eventually we managed to get aligned. And then I was just like, I know, let me try. Tato, do you want to come? Because you seem like you've got a very interesting story.
I do. And every story must be told. And unfortunately, maybe some of the stories won't make it to mainstream media. So
Absolutely.
let's keep telling those stories.
Okay, cool. Perfect. 100%. Yeah. So you bump into sibling rivalry through a friend, which I'd like to shout out. Shout out to you, Pumeza M. Thank you for sharing the love and introducing us to Tato, right? Cool. Tato, you are a social runner.
Officially.
Okay. I'm going to get a little bit into what that actually means, right?
Yeah.
You're a social runner. You started running when? And you started running why?
Okay. So I started running in 2006. So my story is kind of weird. I also couldn't run really. I was just that girl that is paparing.
Okay.
I want to get involved in anything. You know that girl that be like, I want to play netball, hockey.
Okay.
So then I grew up in the villages. So then when I started staying with my mom,
okay,
I was at John Martin Catholic School. So we had these uncles that came to speak to us. They were coming from Garso Strider's Athletics Club. They were like, no, if you guys want to join, you know what I mean? All of you guys here in school run 100 meters. But we do advise that you try other distances. You know, there's middle distance. I'm like, hi, Sana, everything is long distance. If it's not 100, it's long distance.
Sure.
So then they were like, no, come join us after school. And then, that's how I started running. Okay. And basically, it was just being jajarach. That was the initial reason. Just wanting to be part of everything. But then...
Okay, we are papa. Okay, sure.
Can I say that?
And also, you were a kid then, so it's so fine.
I was a kid. I was in grade 6. I was 12 years old.
Oh, geez,
so
okay.
I was just like, okay, let's go try this thing out.
Yeah.
So then I go join them for like a training session. And I can see for everything, I am number last.
Okay.
So when I speak to the coach, it's like, who's the fastest person here? So then they start having a conversation. No, there's a whole bunch of fast people, but that's the girl to beat and everything. It's like, I want to be like her. And Mina, I believe Obana, I will definitely be like her. And from that, I started loving like athletics, like with all my heart.
Okay.
And because I was also new in the area, that was a way of me making friends. So I come from the villages, start a new school, I join a running club. There's no time to play in the streets. Like every day I am there with those people.
Correct.
And then I guess I also found a family, you know, in Kagiso. It was, So that's how I started running. And it was just love at first sight.
So
first boyfriend.
and get the lover that will go with you throughout the rest of your life, till you don't want to anymore.
Exactly. And you can always get back with him, you know what I mean? It gets complicated sometimes.
And he doesn't get jealous.
Exactly.
I love that.
Yeah.
So I think then officially you're probably the person that started, of all the people that I know, you're the person that started the youngest.
Oh, really?
Yeah, absolutely. If you're saying at 12, you already... And at 12, that push is not coming from a place whereby people saw you and they're like, yo, this one is really talented.
No.
You actually were not really talented.
Zero.
But you just had that ambition inside of you.
If you ran with a rugby shot,
Yeah.
that says a lot. I used to run in a rugby shot.
Okay.
Navy blue.
Yeah.
That just says a lot. I was just there for vibes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then that starts cool. Then you're at school. You go through, obviously now you're in the athletics club at school.
Yeah.
You start getting better after some time, I imagine.
Of
Okay.
course, as I should. Yeah, so then basically I start getting better, but that's now during the cross-country season.
Okay.
So I didn't even know what cross-country was. For me, remember, running was just 100 meters.
Yes,
So
correct.
now these coaches are starting to introduce cross-country. I'm like, see, cross a CRP.
Exactly. Cross country is what? Is trail running? No.
Almost something similar.
Okay.
But like you just run on different like surfaces, but it's not as hectic as trail running.
Okay.
So almost similar, but not as hectic.
Okay, fair.
But yeah, so I'm like, see across a CIP country spread. What are they saying? So then and then we start running a couple of leagues because it's like we were part of kind of in Central Gauteng.
Okay.
So run a couple of leagues. It's all good. They're like, yeah, not show me. When you are there by my top 6, now it looks like
bad.
you're gonna progress when I know you're gonna, it's coming right. So then at the end, I think it was like around August-ish, 2006, they're like, okay, cool. Here's the team that's going to nationals in September, and you're in the team.
Okay.
So then now I go home. I'm like, guys, guess who is the representing Central Gauteng?
Let's go from rugby shorts now
From
to
rugby
tights.
shorts to running with school shoes, and then now all of a sudden, solale mahotele, like
Andiva.
white sheets, everything. I'm like, wow, I could get used to this. I'm like, so this is the reward of suffering.
Yeah.
So I was like, no, I could get used to this.
Okay.
And then I guess from there it was just a norm. Being in the team was just the norm, and it was always a matter of, okay, now that you're in Central Gauteng, you're qualified, you've made the team. The next stop should be a podium finish.
Okay.
The next stop should be nationals. You know?
Okay.
I mean, representing South Africa and all of that. So yeah, it was just, we always knew where to after, like, what's the next goal and all of that. And although we were young, but I feel like we loved running so much. I think it was just the culture in our running club that although we didn't even understand running as a business at that time, but we knew where we wanted to go. Like everyone knew that, okay, this is the goal. And as soon as someone achieves that in the club, so you're like, man, it's possible.
Yeah, and you're like, yeah, chance, asambin, yeah, let's rock.
Together as one, I do.
Nice. So at that point now, you're probably in high school now?
Yeah, no, now I'm primary school heading for high school.
Okay.
So now, obviously, I think I was in grade 7. My mom is still now looking for school all over Krugersdorp. Yay.
Yes.
I was actually glad that you know where Krugersdorp is.
Yeah.
So shut up. So my mom is looking for, walking around Krugersdorp, looking for a high school for me because now I'm in grade 7, made nationals. Went to nationals twice. So, and I'm telling her that although I'm in a Catholic school, I'm looking for a school that's very focused in sports. And then, she looks and then she comes back home. She's like, no, I went to St. Ursula's, but sana imali ayiko.
Yes.
But there's a school next door called School Monument, but sana Afrikaans. I'm like, Eddie Blofan, let's go.
Ekanar Club.
Do you want bluff? So then I'm like, no, I'm okay with that. We can complete the forms. Within a week before I even completed the forms, we had a call from Danny, who was like the sports director at the school, sports coach as well. At the time, may his soul rest in peace. So he calls, he's like, yo, I actually saw you running at Gauteng Champs and I saw you went to nationals and I've been trying to get a hold of you for the longest time. So I don't even know where he got my parents' numbers. Yeah. And then my mom's like, no, remember the school I went to? The uncle called and then he wants you at the school. I was like, Look at
Let's go.
God. Let's go. So then now, as soon as I fill in the forms, I tell my coach and say, this is what's happening. I got approached by the school. I don't even know the school. They're like, no, the school is good. It competes. It's very good. It's one of the best in the country in terms of sports. And then at the time, there were not as many black people in the school. And it's very Afrikaans. So by Afrikaans, I mean, if there's 10 classes, 8 of the classes is Afrikaans, and then 2 of the classes is English. So then my coach calls the uncles like, yo, if you think she's better, there are more kids here within the club that are
coach,
better.
Tengisa, coach.
Coach, Bastata sonke. And then they were like, no, guys, here's a scholarship. So some of the people that I trained with, we all literally in the same year, boom, went to the same school. And then we stayed at home. All of us stayed at home, still trained with the same coach, some of in grade 8, some in grade 9, but all of us are still getting used to this Afrikaans culture.
Yes, correct.
Can't hear anything, but we are here for running.
Yes, correct. So now at that point, is serious.
No, now there's a scholarship involved, hey?
Correct.
Like, now.
But now his scholarship is you need to run, but you also need to pass, right?
Exactly.
At that point, you still have normal career dreams like any other child, or it's like...
At that point in time, it's a 50-50 there, because at that point in time, it's around 2008, 2009-ish. So 2009, it was the rise of Casta.
Okay.
So I'm like,
we ran now, and you see, even remember the years. I'm just like 2009. What was happening in 2009? Okay,
so 2009, around that time. So we knew Casta, but like I think. At the time, we couldn't comprehend her greatness. Like, hey, we're with this person at nationals.
Yes.
Now she's a world champion, a whole world champion. Hi, man, Nami Musindinga.
I love that spirit.
Yeah, I was like,
that spirit, now I can.
I was like, now although I'm studying, I think the goal is to actually become a professional athlete, because, I mean, look at people like Hasta. And now I'm running the same event. I'm getting better at it. So definitely, a professional athlete. And at the time, I wanted to become a teacher.
Yeah.
Or a sports scientist. And I didn't even know what a sports scientist did, but I was like, the sports involved, that I know. The scientist part, not so much.
Yeah, correct.
So now I'm like, okay, even when I went to grade 10, the subjects that I chose to were very weird, because I was like, we need to position ourselves very well.
Yeah.
If we become a sports scientist, there's physics. If you go with accounting because apparently your uncle was going to be rich, it didn't happen. Apparently that's where the riches are. And just have business studies in case life goes pear-shaped, and then you can at least say something about pricing in business and Paula every now and then. So I really didn't know what I wanted to do, but I knew I wanted to run.
Okay.
The other things were just secondary dreams.
Okay.
Primary dream
was to run.
And to just be like Casta.
Okay. And now running what now? Casta ran 400s, right?
800. 1500, yeah.
Okay. And where were you specializing?
I was all there. I was involved. So
my main that time. Oh
that
no.
time I was so little, running barefoot. Hello. So then now I was doing both the 800 and the 1500. Okay. But I preferred the 800. The 800 was a lot more nicer for me, because anything longer, I was not too great. Okay. I was just decent. Okay. But then the 800 it was good for me. Like, great. Even when I would qualify to represent South Africa international, whatever.
Huh? Sorry?
That was a long time ago. But like, a lot of people always used to wonder why during the cross-country season, I was just an average runner.
Yes.
But then because South Africa would have their trials like in Jan, and that's when I'm training for the track season.
Yes.
Like, I didn't have to do much at the trials. Like, all I had to do, my coach would just condition me and say, just go run behind everyone, and then towards the finish, just run faster. Okay. Because that's what you're able to do. Yeah. Threshold pace, I just couldn't.
Tato, sorry. You did not tell me.
Sorry.
Yes. Rewind a little bit. Yeah. What you didn't tell me is that the way you're talking, you're starting to sound like a professional runner. This channel,
guys, I am just telling people start as social runners, then become professional. My story is the inverse.
What?
Yeah, so
because I'm hearing South African trials, I'm hearing all sorts of these things.
lot, man. It's a lot. Yeah. So I started representing South Africa like
don't look bored when you say that.
Let me be excited. Okay, which camera am I looking at? So I started representing South Africa at the age of 16.
Okay.
Right. So I always tell people that for me it took 1 December to change my life. Like one solid December where I was like to my parents, I'm not going to the villages. I'm gonna train hard. Next year there's SA trials, next year it's Youth Olympics. It was during the 2010 World Cup. So December 2009, I'm like, nah, we're chilling.
I'm staying. I'm not going.
I'm not
home
going anywhere.
for December.
I'm gonna train. So there was a whole lot of us that were training, but because most of the people are like from the township, not everyone goes to the villages in December.
Correct. Yeah.
So then I also stayed behind. My parents would leave. I would stay at home by myself with some of my friends because we gotta train. We gotta put in the work.
Dream at 16.
At 16, like it was so wild. I think we were too serious.
But which is good. I mean, that's great.
Yeah, like, and also I can't say my parents are strict, but they are very, rigid.
Okay,
so old school parents just do the right things. We'll do whatever that you want us to do for you. So Lena, I just grew up with that mentality that, go, just run, stay out of trouble and all of that. So during that whole December, I trained. I knew there were trials happening in Jan. And I knew there were Youth Olympics happening somewhere July, August, I don't know. And there was the 2010 World Cup, which I was just the vibes.
Sure.
Yeah, so then
now you want to run Youth Olympics.
Now I want to go to Youth Olympics. And I also want to go to cross-country world champs in Feb.
Okay.
So, Sharp, my coach and I have a chat. Okay, Sharp, these are the goals. Okay, and Sharp, great. And there's also other girls in the team. My friend Sylvia, like she's like also at the time one of the best. So whatever she does, that's working. We must also do.
Rinse and repeat.
Exactly.
This time there's no money involved. There's no salaries. There's no...
Far from salary. You just need to get your December report and go train.
Okay.
No, I'm not even thinking about that because also I'm 16 at the time.
Yeah.
I don't compete in a lot of like 10-kilometer races.
Yes.
So I understand zero about money. I'm doing all of this because I love it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Love the competition.
Sure,
nice.
It makes me suffer, but I love it so much. So we trained during that year. Goals achieved, tick. I go to World Champs. So the first time it was in Poland.
Where was the one? Where the champs?
So it's in Poland.
Okay.
In Bydgoszcz. So I'm like, so much it's chicken or beef, man? Chicken. It's chicken or beef, ma'am. What did you like to drink? In the aeroplane, a whole me. Yeah, a whole 16-year-old in an aeroplane for the first time.
From where? Where's your home?
My home is Gosnotlelo.
Okay.
That's like Mpumalanga, very close to Limpopo.
Okay.
And a lot of people know Siabuswa area. So it's not far from that.
Yeah.
So, but both my parents come from Lifiso.
Okay.
Yeah, they're not far from each other. So I was raised by my grandmother because my mom had to go to school and all that. The jazz.
Yeah, for
sure. So that is home. So now we are calling home now. Hey, Ukiel Uya.
Yes.
Ukiel Uya Ntiza manje. Now my grandmother, everybody is just so happy. First person to fly in the family. And I do have, now going back, because like going back home, I used to see this other certificate on the wall and I realized that my late aunt also used to be an athlete and she won the same event and all of that.
Yeah.
So then, now it was just a big thing in the family, something that was very well celebrated. It was great. The first year, it was a big, big thing. And then after that, it's like, next year again. Now, when are you going?
Normal. Normal.
Now it's normal. Now you're getting used to it. And, the scholarship is still there. You're doing well. I'm passing. Yeah, I also used to be a top 10 student.
So you've got it all. You're juggling both of them.
Yeah. Other people would be like, how are you balancing it? But really, it was just me freestyling. There was no method behind it.
Just you living your life.
Yeah.
And just working hard.
Working hard, definitely.
Do you think there was a link between your performance, right? Physical performance as a runner and your performance at school? Do you think that if you weren't running, you would have performed any different at school?
100%. I think what people don't realize, especially long distance, middle distance running, it just creates a fighting spirit in you. The level of grit that you develop from that, like you're only gonna see when you stop running. But the way the mentality that you carry, I know 100% for sure that some of the things that I've achieved in my life, if it wasn't for running, zero.
Stop it.
I promise you, it works, guys.
You know what?
Wake up and run.
Yeah. So I love the things that we're talking about, especially and them happening at that stage in your life, right? Because at that stage in your life, you're not thinking about, like now, as we started running old. So now we've already heard so many things as well, you know? Mentally, you're not running for mental clarity at 16. You understand? And this, right? And then it's easy to kind of say that these things are affected by the fact that I ran or the fact that I exercise.
Exactly.
But at that age, and now you being able to look back and me asking you that question to kind of understand, to say, do you think, and you're giving the answer as it is, because at that time you didn't understand the loop.
No, at all. I wasn't even trying to understand.
Yeah, of course.
I was just showing up to do what I need to do, and then I go.
However, it had a spill over into your I don't know, I'll call it private life. I'll call it your education life, right?
Yeah. Definitely.
Cool. So, how did you do in Poland? Now I have to know before I go.
I finished.
Done.
That's all that matters. I finished and I represented the country very well.
Love that. Love that.
Yeah, but I think I was like number 50 something.
Okay.
I don't know out of how much.
Okay.
You guys can Google. I don't know out of how much, but really, I think I also didn't care. I was just like, I am there.
Dog, you had the time of your life.
And it was so cold, and we were running barefoot. I think like 4 out of the 6 girls from South Africa were running barefoot. Like running barefoot.
You flew to Poland.
I flew to Poland, and the white people are like, here are the shoes, Margot. I was like, nope.
Really? Because you train barefoot?
I train barefoot. I'm going to run barefoot. I'm not trying to be fancy. I ran many
Don't try anything new on race day.
No, why? Don't start with the shakes. Don't drink blue water. You stick to what you do. You stick to what you've been doing in training. So,
yes.
But like running barefoot, middle distance athletes in South Africa, I don't, right now it's not as big as it used to be. I think, the kids are Googling and TikToking and influencing, so they do run with shoes, but it's a norm. Like it's nothing shocking, but the moment you walk barefoot and go into that starting line, and then there's China, and then there's Ethiopia, and even Ethiopians and Kenyans run with shoes at those levels of competitions. Marasauda. Natural.
That's so cool. I was watching a video whereby they say that running barefoot is actually better for your feet and for your body rather than running with shoes. We had a big debate.
Let's leave shoes alone, guys. I mean, we can't make you run comrades without shoes, but every 30 minutes on the grass without shoes, I mean.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, I think so. Yeah. Because that's what my my chiro told me as well. I've been having some issues with my feet, and he said literally like, your feet are not strong enough, bro. Yeah. One of the things that you can do outside of stretches and all of this stuff is to walk around barefoot. It's really, really good for you, and that's what I've been trying. So to me, like, that chat is definitely a chat that's like not lost on me. Like, do you believe?
You believe in it?
Yeah, no, absolutely, I do.
It's medicine.
I do. Yeah, for sure. So, okay, so Poland happens. Cool. And now you're a professional athlete.
I'm a semi-professional because I'm really not getting paid. A professional.
Okay. Nice. Cool. So now, fast forward a couple of years.
Yeah.
You are still a semi-professional now. You're still running and not getting paid.
I'm still running. I'm still not getting paid. You see, running. Maybe on this podcast we need a pro who needs to explain the revenue stream, how revenue flows running, because Now, me till this day, I don't really understand running as a business. I sort of have an idea.
Okay.
Because it's very confidential. Mali.
And I suppose just like any industry.
Yeah, exactly. It's very, people don't really share a lot about that. But at the time, the goal was still now that, okay, you got a scholarship to
Yes.
get to through high school.
Yeah.
Represented the country, all great. So the next goal should be studying, your tertiary studies, right?
Okay.
I'm not even thinking, that's the money that I'm
Yes.
thinking
Yes.
about, And then at the time, I'm just like, oh, so yeah, babes, because now my options.
Cool. End of high school. That gets you to end of high school.
Yeah.
And then sports science.
And then now I must pick between that sports science and the teaching.
Okay.
So then now I get to, just to go back.
Yeah.
In 2012, I attended the World Junior Champs Track and Field, now in Barcelona.
Okay.
So when you're there, it's like, manje, you can see when they talk about opportunities within sports. Okay, no, this is what they're referring to. There's a whole lot of different coaches and representatives from Ivy League universities from America. Your Oregon, your UCLA.
There's scouts, Nendo, all of that jazz.
All of these, because they take running very seriously. NCAA, what is a very big thing in America. So I speak to a couple of people who they keep telling me, we got great facilities in our university. I'm like, So this is now July 2012. I'm in matric. I have these men telling me and these aunties telling me that, no, we got great facilities. If you come to our university, this is what you're going to get. I'm getting recruited with the rest of everyone that's there at World Champs. Like, we're speaking to different recruiters,
So then, Ubatang on this podcast today.
Dear Apple.
Okay.
So, I'm getting recruited. So, I go home. And I tell my parents and whatever, but no one takes it seriously. There's no evidence at that time.
And it's also not something that we know that happens.
Exactly.
Like, it's not a real
It's
real
maybe
thing.
Very few people in South
Yes.
Africa at the time that were doing it. The only person that I knew who was studying in America was Christine Kauma.
Okay.
Then because I really looked up to Renee, who was Christine's sister, so then she connects me to Christine. She's like, girl, if you heard those chats, then this is the person that you need to ask all the questions.
Sure,
So I want to
sure.
show you chat on BBM. Remember BBM? Yeah,
definitely.
I'm that old, guys.
Yeah.
So then we chat on BBM towards the end of the year. I'm like, yo, there's this person from Arkansas. Arkansas was the university that you went to. I don't know, Ndiye and Tini.
Skipan, yeah.
And then she gives me like all the information that, like the system here is good. You are well taken care of. If you're injured, you see the best people in the country, medical people in the country. You're going to get your allowance. You can even save that to travel back home like, at least once a year and all of that. And I'm like, wow.
This is great.
The American dream, Daibona. I can see it.
Okay. Now you start formulating it.
Yeah, now
this
I'm
is the
just
path
like,
I can take.
yeah, we are going to America. And then I start having those conversations towards December. But then I also apply at UJ.
Okay.
UJ is like, I know here are the forms, babes. We know that you are running. Scholarship is ready. Tell us what you want to study.
Fact.
Yeah, like, as an athlete, guys.
Like better most wanted.
I think being an athlete, Shem, does create a lot of opportunities for you, So then I go to UJ because now America, I still have time to think about it because their school year starts now in August. Now, February, I start with UJ. Then I chose accounting, Shem. The sports science thing didn't work.
Okay.
Now I'm in accounting, I'm making friends, I'm still running, things are great. And then comes May, I think April, May. Then I start having the conversation with my parents again. I'm like, hey guys, now kumbula American dream.
Yeah, sure.
Are we about to live it or not? Can I tell you, I was there on my laptop Googling how much it costs to go to like America, Googling the flights, because you had to take care of your flight tickets to get there.
Sure.
And everything else they take care of. Now I'm also hearing people, they're like, yeah, no. If you go to America, what if you end up working at McDonald's?
Oh no.
And what if your running doesn't work? What happens to you then? Like for me, because
This is chats coming from what? From family and like your circle.
Yeah, my parents don't know about it. So my mom is like, I'm not sending you halfway across the world because I don't know who's gonna be taking.
Not for it.
Yeah, but it's just my mom. My dad is very nonchalant. He's like, baby, whatever you wanna do.
Also, you are going to school.
Yeah,
AUJ,
just go.
and you are learning, and you're in accounting.
Also, now you're telling us that you must drop out in August.
Hey,
your story is not making sense.
What?
Also now at the time, my coach is also like, I don't know. And like, that's the one person that helped me to also get there.
Correct.
So now when they're not speaking positive into this thing, and like even your teammates, they're like, and I'm just like, then I think it was
deflated.
just exactly. Then fear got me. Then I was just like, no, I'm not gonna go to America. It's okay.
America.
That dream.
Why dream?
I dream in America. Then I stayed at UJ. I didn't go to America. Bob.
If you could go back there, how many years ago was that?
That was 2013.
If you could go back to 2013.
So
now, as you now.
I'd be married to Marcus. Maybe I'd be married to some American guy in Texas or something. I don't know. Like I think
if you could Natsika, you would
I would go
because
right now I realized that there was just nothing. It was just fear. It was just people also imposing their fears on you because they've never seen something being done before, or they've only seen it maybe with our white counterparts. They think you're going to go there, you're going to fail. Right now, I do know of many people that are in America. They have children there. They are married.
They've built lives.
Do you understand? So I was just like, that means Zabandu misses something.
Sure.
Now I'm Tatama Kaful. But yeah.
So. Okay. And I like the spirit that you've kind of like attached to that. You would say, yeah, this is something that happened. And cool, we're here now. It's no use crying over spilled milk.
Yeah.
So you stay, go UJ. Umbloke, Geneva, whoever. Sure, of course.
And then like life goes on now. I'm a UJ athlete, but I still have a scholarship. I still feel blessed. I still feel like so grateful. And then it's going now because
correct. Now you're starting to work hard. Now you're studying, and
now I'm studying.
Accounting is starting to account, and all of that. And then fast forward to now again.
Mm-hmm.
Who are you running for now?
I imagine it's our local running club, so the ones that I started with
in
grade 6. Yeah.
Where did it turn?
Pardon?
Where did it turn? Where did the turn come?
For what?
From semi-professional running to...
Oh, okay.
And now, because now you run socially now.
Oh, now I'm running social. Okay, let's go back to how the social era starts.
Okay. Okay.
So, I mean, UJ, the books are booking, the accounting is accounting. And first year grades, I passed. My performance is all right.
Okay.
It's not great. It's not as great as I was as a junior athlete,
sure.
like high school vibes. But it's decent. It's enough to get me through.
Yes, and for your scholarship to still continue.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. So then now, 2013 goes by, we pass.
Yeah.
2014 goes by, we pass.
Second year.
Yeah. And the performance is also still all right.
Sharp on both sides.
Yes.
Okay.
So then now comes 2015. Okay. So 2015 is where then now I start going from I want to become a professional athlete to be like, girl, where you going to get the money?
Okay.
Yeah. Because now I remember there was a time between March, it was April. So during April, we'll have our nationals, and then we'd have USAs, and then we'd have Varsity Cup.
Okay.
So there was a time where we had like competitions in Stellenbosch, those 3 competitions. And I stayed in Stellenbosch for like 2 weeks, no class.
Okay.
For anyone that studied accounting, they know the importance of deferred tax. If you miss that chapter, it's like saying you read the Bible and you know nothing about Genesis journey. So if you miss that chapter, your year is over.
Okay.
So then at the time, I'm so like I'm trying so hard to be independent that I can self-study, guys.
Okay, sure.
I've been through this. I'm smart. I'm all of that. I will self-study this chapter. Gonna come back 2 weeks, go to class, then write a test. Write a test, and then go into exams.
Yes.
So then I self-study, we write a test. I failed dismally.
Sure.
Yabon? And this is accounting now. All the other modules are fine. It's just accounting. So then I'm like, hi man, we will try again
Sure.
in June for the exam.
Yes, fighting spirit.
Phela kanjalo indaba yami ne-accounting. I failed so bad. I failed terribly. And I even got a second opportunity.
Yeah.
And I still failed that. So when
no.
you fail that, you can't continue with that module. So and the next year, you must repeat everything, even the modules that you passed.
But at least you're not excluded.
I'm not excluded.
Okay.
So I just failed that one module. My marks looked like temperatures. I think it was about 35 there. I emailed my lecturer. I'm like, so 35, it means, yeah, vele, it's over. And I'm just like, babes.
Can't I take it on standard grade?
They said if you don't get 40, you cannot continue with the year because you can't perform miracles. Yeah. So then, I failed and then I cried. Sure, I remember that day I cried so bad. I was even asking my roommates for headache pills and then I cried. They're like, yo, mama ni ufaiti. I'm like, chon,
Yeah.
And then at that time, I was like, you need to be serious.
Okay.
Like, you really need to be serious. What do you want? Like, do you want to be a CA or do you want to run? Because right now, you could do it in high school.
Yeah.
You could easily balance.
Now you can't do both.
Now it's difficult. Like, what are you prioritizing? You can still do both, but the other one, you can be like, okay, let me miss a training session for an important class. Me, I used to be, let me miss a class.
For a session.
For a competition, for everything. So now I'm being rocked. This course is rocking me hard.
Yeah.
So then I continue with the running because now accounting has gone out of the picture. Then I repeat everything in 2016.
In the following year.
Yeah, and then I pass and then I graduate. And then I'm like, yeah.
Okay, hold on. Now, because now you've made the decision to say, I can miss training for class.
For class.
So you've swapped it around.
I've swapped it around. Now Tato doesn't want to become a professional athlete anymore. Okay. Tato wants to become Mrs. Guinana.
Okay.
Tato wants to be a shower accountant because apparently they said there's money.
CASA
what? And I was like, no, this is what I'm going for. And even my mom is for the academics.
Sure.
My dad is for the sports. It's like, show me, do you know you got this? Then I I get my degree. So my degree, I was supposed to get it done in like 3 years. Then I do it in like 4 years. I'm still running during this time.
But
the performance, Sana.
Sure.
Yeah. And now, remember, you used to be like this great athlete. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, hey, show me what's happening.
Yes.
Is it the boys?
Yeah, correct. And it's not the boys, it's the books.
It's the books. Yeah. They're like, show me what is happening. And now also it's like, you are failing or you failed last day. We don't know what's happening. And then now also you're not performing. It doesn't make sense.
Yes.
So a lot of people, it doesn't make sense. But the people that were very close to me who saw what was happening,
they saw
including
the
my
switch.
parents, they really supported me. So although it was very frustrating and very painful that Vela, I really want to perform and I'm trying my best, but the results are not showing. Yeah. But at the same time, I told myself that, you know what? You've made a decision, you gotta stick to it.
Okay.
So now this is end of 2016, we graduate, and then 2017, I start with my honors year. I'm like,
nice.
Me next year, I'm starting my articles. I'm even buying a car.
Okay. Hey.
This time I still
Which you did?
No, unfortunately, my journey was so rocky, and through all of this time, I'm like, I can't stop running. That's the thing, and I was just like, my friend was like, at some point, Chomi, you're addicted, so you can't just not. I was just like, friend. It's sometimes I get to a point where I feel like I need to run and then I'm going to feel better. But at that point, still, I couldn't align the running with my mental well-being because I was just like, now I know if it's a bad test, I just need a proper hard training session. And then after that, dopamine up the roof. I'm fine.
This is the thing, but at that time, we are not talking about dopamine and we're not talking about chemicals in your mind. Where now what you know is on a basic level that for some odd reason,
I become happy. That's all I could do. Now I call it dopamine.
Yes.
But then at the time, I was like, naturally, give happy. After I just become okay, I just have this whole lot of energy. I don't know. I just know that I need to run. And even if it's a hard session, it's even better. I don't know why, but yeah. So then I couldn't stop, and then I did my honors year, my CTA year in 2017, and I failed 3 modules and I passed 1.
Chayaka.
Baba, yo, I failed 4.
Like
3.
Now, did you end up finishing whatever it is that you?
Yes, guys, I finished.
That's what's most important for me, right? And in this period, why you are running is because for some reason running makes you feel better.
It makes me feel good. Yeah.
Yo, that's something. It just makes me feel better. Therefore, I've figured out what makes me feel better, and I'm going to continue doing it.
And I'm going to continue doing it regardless of whether I'm failing or what. And now, at the time, I'm still running, but my performance is not great, but it's enough to take me to Varsity Cup. It's enough for me to qualify.
You're still competing.
USAs. I'm still competing. Okay. I can still qualify for the province. I don't qualify internationally no more, but I can still represent the province, be in the final at nationals. Like, for me, that was enough. That was success now for me. And then, end of 2017, I failed. And then 2018, we repeated.
Sharp.
And then UJ was like, oh, Chumi, but we don't pay for the modules that you failed.
Okay.
And then now my parents have to step in.
Sure.
But also it's like after how many years of not paying fees.
Yeah.
And then UJ is like, Shem, Mara, you've done enough. We'll Zama you somehow. But then some of the modules my parents had to like pay. And then repeated in 2018, passed 51. That's bragging rights, 51 average.
Operative word being passed.
There we go.
Yeah.
So I passed. I just made it. And then left UJ in end of 2018. And then I started my articles in 2019.
Okay.
Yeah. So
what could be articles?
I did my articles at the Green Dot.
Don't know. I don't know what that is, guys.
Deloitte. I did my articles with Deloitte, ex-employer. I did my articles with Deloitte, and that was then the time where I was like, okay, we knew what we wanted running to do.
Yeah.
We know it makes you feel good, but you don't have to suffer.
Okay.
Yeah, because now I'm just...
Then now you start dialing it back now.
Now I'm like, let's work now towards our articles, and then let's just run because it makes you feel good.
Okay. And now running because it makes you feel good. What are you running in terms of distances at that stage now?
So it's just like fun runs. 5K, 10K, because
10s.
me, I used to be a track and field athlete.
Okay, sure.
Anything above 15K is a marathon.
Okay, sharp. So you're not doing anything. If you do that, you'll do that like once a year. Nakona, you'll ask yourself why.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
How often?
So I would do it. So between when I started articles, it was 2019, right?
Yeah.
So between January 2019 and August 2019, I would run like on weekends and if I get home early. So maybe max 3 times a week, right? And still, I didn't feel bad because
Yes, correct. Because now you're working, right?
Now I'm working. So I'm like, I don't really have to do it, but I really want to do it. So then my mom gives me her car. It's like, okay, no, I got a new car. No, you can use this one now. Then I start like trying to skip traffic. Then I'll look for like the nearest park and then park there and then just run. Like addiction is serious.
Because now you're just running for... You're just social
I'm just
running.
For the sake of running. I have to run. If there's like a 5K there and there, I'll just go. I find out on a Friday, it's Saturday, I'm going the next morning. Now,
are you running kind of like for yourself? Are you running competitively?
No.
Are you running blisteringly fast times or you just...
I'm just running. At the time, I think I was running, 2019, I was still running decent. If I wanted to go back, I could have.
Okay.
But I was like, no, I'm running it. I'm running because it's just fun. It's just for myself. It's really just good vibes.
Yeah. Socializing
because now you meet other runners.
Yeah.
And then everyone, because you say you run and you talk about running all the time at the office, like, so when are you doing the comrades? And I'm like, I want to be a corporate. I'm not a comrade. I'm just a social runner. Not every social runner runs comrades, guys, or wants to go to 2 Oceans. Some of us, our ambitions are here. We are there, 10K max, 15K.
Really?
21 if we really push it. I've never done a 21. I've never done anything more than a 15K, even if it's a long run.
Are you serious?
I promise you.
And no ambitions of ever doing that.
You never know. Because lately I'm running there 10K and it feels like whap whap.
Yeah, it feels too quick.
Yeah, it feels like it finishes quickly.
Yeah.
So I think I'll progress to like 21s. I don't wanna commit, guys. This is on camera.
But 42 is 0.
42 is 0 for now. But my dad was like, no, he wants to run his marathon. I think when he turns, how old is my dad? I think when he turns 50 something, 55 or something. I was like, oh, maybe we can go together.
Okay.
It can be like a daddy-daughter.
Nakona just marathon, regular marathon.
Yeah, just not ultra. Please. Not ultra. Yo.
This is the first time I've met there's a lot of firsts that are happening for me today. This is the first time I've met someone who, like, I'm not running over 15Ks. Like
no.
I'm happy here.
I'm okay here.
It's giving. I know when enough is enough, guys.
Yeah, it's like the 15K, that's enough dopamine generated for the day.
I feel like you've got a very healthy relationship with running.
I do.
Unlike the guys who are...
They want to do 60 kilometers 2 weeks before comrades. I see those funny things and I'm like, we listen, we don't.
Yeah, for sure. And I think that's very important because for me, I'm also just like, it can happen. You can decide this is enough for me and then just stop there and get what you need to get out of it. And then life can still continue.
Exactly.
So then that happens from then up until now. You are still on the same kind of path now.
Now I think I'm even a bit more consistent in terms of like my social running. I'm like, I know I can do like 4 times a week or 5 times a week.
Yes.
And yeah, it's so nice. The pressure is it's normal. It's there's no pressure even.
Yes,
it's
correct.
like just wake up, go run. But then also you have those days where you cannot say you don't feel like it today, Chomi. You've committed.
Okay.
You have a 10K with your friend Ninning, so you must do something.
Okay.
So like, I'd even go on like running dates with my friends. Like I do have a lot of friends. Yeah.
Okay, no, I'm just asking.
Sana, imagine going on a running date, breathing hard. So tell me about yourself. No, I've gone running dates with my friends.
Nice.
And yeah, because we all used to run. So we're like, no, Chomi, let's hit a young 10K there by Spa. Let's go to Absa. Let's, all of those races where I know for sure that also allows me to connect with the community of at least people that I used to know from running. We still chat, we still see each other on social media.
Yes.
But yeah, so it's...
That's excellent, man. Guys, I think we have... used the wrong definition for social running.
What's the new definition?
This is the definition of social running.
Yes.
People who are not my mind is blown that there's people who are not chasing medals, people who are not chasing PBs, people who are not like what I do. There's people who don't do that, but equally as much gain from this whole experience.
Satisfying. Yeah. So it's very weird, Banasana. So it goes this thing. Like I sub 55, sub 50 there by the 10K we good. And it's not, guys, it's not that deep. Me, I always say it's okay. Like I've had my my share of life where running meant the world to me. Like, I feel like I couldn't even define myself or really know who I was or step into rooms without talking about running.
Yes.
And getting to a point where I'm like, no, I'm enough, Sana. I am loved. I am a child of God. You are sufficient. The way ungakhona, and running doesn't define you. Like today here, tomorrow gone.
Yeah.
That's just the reality of it. So it was really hard actually to shed off running and to step into this social running thing.
Yes, and into your own personality, who you actually are outside of that.
Yeah, exactly. It was so difficult because if even now when I go into my old running community, like I went to the cross country last week, I know they won't even say hi.
Yeah.
What?
Like, do they see what size you are? Right?
Show me. Oh, are you still gonna run? King, are you trying to come back? I'm like, come back from what? I'm like, I closed that chapter. Right now I run because I honestly still really enjoy it. And
Yes.
at cross country, the goal is to not come number last.
Correct.
But yeah, so people will still have that idea. I'll come back one day and then I'll make a return and then I'll come back there by the marathon and make miracles. I'm like,
No.
that is not the goal, guys. Me, I just like being around you guys and we talk about running and it's fun and it's great. But I'm here to support you guys.
And also, I think you didn't find... I feel like most of us find running. I feel like running found you.
It found me. Yes.
Nah?
Sounds better. That's my new line.
I feel like running found you. And in that you... and at the stage where it found you and all of the stuff that you guys have been through, it's really allowed you. And you've also kind of like taken the stand to say, no, I'm going to control this thing.
Exactly, yeah.
And I love that so much. Like now I feel like I'm manning a good comrades because I'm not in control.
Go to comrades.
I'm not in control.
Guys, next thing I'm being quoted, they see me there at comrades. They're like, isn't this the girl who said she can't?
Yeah, sure.
No, do go to comrades. I think for me, man, I don't know. I don't know. It hits different.
Okay.
And even my dad was asking me, he's like, so where you going? That was last week. He's like, where are you going? I'm like, I'm going to Tatama. So you're going to drive over an hour. What are you running?
To run.
I'm like, I'm running 2 kilometers there because it was the cross country.
Yeah.
And he's like, you're driving
Yeah.
like close to 100 Ks to go running 2 Ks. I was like, no. Also, it's just for the vibes. I know the people that I'm going to be around, and some people like need to be there because I still run for my old running club. So there's kids that need to be there on the day. Like for them, they still in that stage where they take running as serious as I used to. So if you're available to offer transport or whatever, like,
Oh, nice.
you do it. Yeah, and then
That's
it's
so cool.
vibes.
That's so cool. And you weren't tempted to coaching and what.
Can I tell you, coaching is hard.
I can imagine. I mean, everything is hard, guys.
Everything is hard. So no,
Coaching is hard because people are lazy.
Exactly. And now I must stand there because I remember how we used to frustrate our coach. I was like, no, it can never be me, Sana. It can never be me. And it needs you to love it so much.
Yes.
I feel like as a coach, you need to have so much passion for it. I was like, no, I have enough passion for the running, not to do the behind the scenes work. Coaching, no.
Dog, like the one thing that I'm pulling out of this conversation and that wows me is how you are just like, man, I know my enough. I know, like, this is who I am. This is what I want. Nothing is pulling me.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
On that, I think also what helped me in that was the time when I wasn't performing well just after I joined UJ. And for some reason, I became part of like this organization, like it's an athletes in action.
Okay.
It's a sports ministry. So they teach you how you can basically use your talent to basically glorify God. And then through that, you learn like different types of principle. And one of the most important that I still take with me today was performing for the audience of one. Like you don't have to perform to please people because today they love you. Tomorrow there's new, fresh talent.
Yes.
You need to understand that God is happy with where you are. Use your talent to glorify Him. So I think that also channeled the social running that it's enough. What you can do, it's enough, and you don't have to take the outside noise where people tell you you're not good enough, you're not this. God says you're good enough. You know who you are in God, and that is the stamp. That's the only stamp that you need. Hey,
Amen.
hallelujah.
That is beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the most, with this running and everything, and I've heard a lot of beautiful things.
Thank you.
I'm not scared to take what you've just said and push it straight to number one, top of the list. I love that. I love that so much, and thank you for sharing it.
Yeah.
We're running out of time.
We're running out of time.
We're running out of time, right?
Unfortunately, guys, we could sit here the whole day.
We could sit here the whole day, right?
Definitely.
And I'm happy to continue this conversation.
Yeah.
But now I'm just gonna ask you a couple of questions, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because we have to end off. But I mean, I don't think there's anything wrong with a but.
down for a part two.
Yeah, for sure. But from my side, and I think the conversations that we've been having, I think there's definitely some things that we're gonna do in the background. I'm completely I'm inspired by your story so
thank
much.
you.
It's a really, really great story, and thank you so much for sharing it with us. I want to ask you a couple of questions. So it's just like a game that we play at the end of every episode, which is like 10 questions, and you just need to choose one of the two, right?
Okay.
And maybe
do I need to say why?
Some of them you can. So it depends.
If I don't have to.
Yeah, you don't have to. You
Okay.
don't have to. So question number 1, running in the city or on a quiet trail?
Definitely quiet trail.
Okay. Running in a park or on the beach?
I can't swim, so on the park. What if I end up in the water?
No, but you can see the water. Come on. Okay. Running for time or for distance?
Time always feels better.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Time always feels better.
Okay. So now, right, with those distances that you run and running on a track, right? Barefoot or track shoes?
Original. Natural. Definitely barefoot was the most comfortable for me.
Okay.
Yeah, I had issues with shin splints and I had to change shoes and I had,
Yeah.
I never had problems with barefoot.
I love that. I love that. Stretching before, run or after?
No, definitely before.
Okay.
Yeah.
Before. Okay.
Yeah, definitely before.
This might not count for you because you run so short. So the question is hydration pack or water bottle?
Water. Get happy hydration. Water.
Cup of water, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Running in tights or in shorts?
Definitely tights.
Okay.
Always tights.
Okay. Sure.
Because, yeah.
Okay, fair. Running with a hat or without?
Now that I'm a social runner with the hat.
As a semi-professional runner, what the hat kind of slows
Can
you
I
down.
tell you, you took out everything, your stopwatch, sometimes even your earrings.
Okay.
Like, even like the hairstyles that you do, I'd be very careful about the type of hairstyles I do. when I go run because you don't want braids and now
Something that's gonna add even grams.
you just want to be as light as possible.
Nice. So it's us slow runners. So
Sana ndiyanibona ngama-vest.
hydration pack. Speaker.
I know, I'm not judging because now I'm part of the community.
In winter, running with gloves or without?
Sienza sauce, Sana. I don't even have running gloves, actually.
Sure.
Yeah.
100%. On race day, are you excited or are you nervous?
I'm actually nervous.
Nervous more than excitement.
I need the bathroom always before. I don't know. I think it just stayed with me. That part.
So it's more nerves than
It's
excitement.
more nerves.
Even now.
Yeah, it's more nerves than excitement. But like once the gun goes, I'm fine.
Sure.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think it's the gun.
Okay. The nerves is a card.
The gun.
Okay. Running with friends or joining a running club?
Definitely joining a running club.
Okay.
I'm even with a running club now, but I guess you get friends there.
Yes,
eventually.
correct. Yeah.
And now the friends that I've had since high school, not high school, university. It's only one friend that actually runs. So
Okay.
definitely running club,
Yeah.
not the other one. They're all black. And now my running club. I'm sorry. That's the running club I joined. A community running club.
Bom. Guys,
Oh my
what
gosh.
an excellent time. I don't want to lie. You've really opened up another side of running for me that I didn't know really existed. Thank you so much for that. I know I also asked you to bring something special.
Yes.
So we've got 1.5 minutes.
Now that's enough time. That's enough time. Drum roll, please. Drum roll, please. Ta-da!
Okay.
This is my running number from a long time ago. I still have it.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Singapore 2010.
Youth Olympics. This is the closest I got to Olympics, though.
Okay. Youth Olympics. I mean, that's very,
guys.
very close.
I tried.
Nice. And how did that go? What were you running?
I was running 1,000 meters. So they made they introduced
1,000 meters is 1 kilometer most.
1 kilometer.
Don't say 1,000
Sana,
meters.
it's 1,000. I ran not 1,000 kilometers.
Okay.
1,000
1
meters.
kilometer?
1 kilometer, yeah. And they were introducing it was the first Youth Olympics.
Yeah.
So they're introducing special distances so that you don't do your normal track distances like 800, 1500.
Yeah, okay.
So they introduced that. And then, I made it to the final. I think in the final I came 8th.
Okay.
And then I ran a South African record that is no more.
Okay, sure.
But
at least you at some point you were holding a South African record.
Yeah, I did. Twice, guys. I tried.
Coach me. And what did you run? In what time?
I think I ran, it was 2:52. But I know the kids are going faster.
Yes.
Yeah, it was 2:52 and I was 16, so I was shining.
That's so cool.
Yes.
We've got history in the making here on Sibling Rivalry.
I'm definitely keeping, you know what, that one I was just like,
excellent. Love to see it.
I'm going to have a story to tell one day.
Maybe one day if you have kids, maybe then you can say to them, hey, we don't do things slow around here,
it's like, show me, where's the vape going? We must run in this house.
Twela Chup,
we must run in this house.
Man, I'm very inspired. Thank you so much, Tato, for your time.
Thank you for having me. This was actually fun.
It was fun, huh?
Yeah.
I had the most fun. And I'm glad that before the interview I was like, I don't want to ask you anything.
Yeah.
I just want to be surprised.
Yeah.
And you did that at every single corner. So thank you so much, guys. That was us. Another episode. iDyan on the run. I think by the time that you guys probably see this, I may have run comrades. I'm not sure, but
we'll be tracking you. Tini number yako. Where do people? We're gonna be tracking you now.
For sure. No, I'll release the number on my socials. But yet another wonderful story of this is why I run, and this is my story. Tato, thank you very much.
Thank you for having me. Thank you
all
so
the
much.
best with your social running. I love
it this side.
Absolutely. I hope you keep enjoying it, and I'm definitely going to join the real social running crew soon.
The real one.
For sure.
Yeah, please.
No, definitely.
Thanks for having me.
For sure. It's a pleasure.
You.
That's it from us. Over and out. Cheers. Bye-bye.